Okay, so you might be hearing some noise in the background. Do forgive that noise. I listen. Technology is not in my favor today. I cannot say, but we are just gonna make it work. Hello everyone. If you're viewing, so we're live on other platforms. So we're just gonna get my computer in order because we are in it. Okay, so thank you so much for viewing our session today. Hello everyone, I'm multi-streaming, so um thank you all for coming in. For those who are new to my platform, hello, my name is Elisha Jacobs. I am the CEO and founder of Innovategy Solutions. I am also an IT strategist with over 16 years of corporate experience managing, or I should say, building and managing IT departments and or IT infrastructures for large corporations. I am also I've been in the IT industry for over 16 years, and I do help small businesses as well as entrepreneurs leverage the power of technology in their business so they can build sustainable businesses through strategic IT roadmaps and infrastructures. So today I want to talk to you, or I'm asking the question, are you learning and growing in the right direction? And the reason why I'm asking this question, it's more geared or it's more of a focus of technology. It's more of a focus of technology. So I really wanted to ask this important question. Are you learning and growing in the right direction? Like I've been sharing for the past couple of days, I've been sharing on the importance of why small businesses need to have an IT strategy implemented into their business strategy or aligned with their business objectives and goals. And more importantly, as we get into the metaverse, or the metaverse has been introduced, and with the pandemic and all different factors that are affecting the markets around the world, it's more important. It's more important than ever for small businesses to really leverage the power of technology. It's most important. We are in a digital age. We need to come to terms with the fact that we are in a digital age, and the digital age requires us to be adaptable, to be sustainable, and to also cater to the demands of our consumers, whether they be clients, if you have a product, if you have a service-based business, if you're a product-based business, your customers or your consumers need to be able to meet you in the digital era. So I really wanted to share on or ask the question more or less, are you learning and growing in the right direction? I know as a CEO, I know as a solopreneur, as we call it, I know as a full-time entrepreneur, you have so much to manage. And because you have so much to manage, we tend to put certain things on the back burner, or we have misconceptions about certain areas or functions of our business. What I have realized is that quite a lot of small business owners neglect technology. It's not that they want to neglect it, but it so happens that they neglect technology on a very large scale. And this is not only in your country that you're representing, it happens worldwide. So, with my trusty bullet point book today, I am going to be sharing with you some key information that you need to start considering and really asking yourself the question, are you learning and growing in the right direction as it relates to being a small business owner or a CEO? Now, I took my company through a digital maturity test this week. So me see if I can pull that up very quickly. The mm, 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 mm. We did go through an assessment. I'm trying to remember the name. It's the IDC Digital Maturity Assessment. The name of the organization, I'm trying to remember, the International Data Corporation is a premier global provider of market intelligence, advisory services, and events for information technology, telecommunication, and consumer technology markets. And usually, what they do worldwide, they usually look at all 8 of the large markets in the world, and they came up with a digital maturity framework based on the surveys that they've conducted over the years, based on that framework that has been adopted through many organizations. We usually go through what is called a digital assessment or a digital maturity assessment. Now, that digital maturity assessment actually assesses your digital maturity as a company, as a CEO, from the CEO standpoint all the way down to your team. And we went through that assessment, I think it was this week, and we got back the report. And I'm so happy that we did this because we understand that technology is the operating system, it is the backbone of businesses today. And this is something that we need to understand as small business owners. Technology is the backbone or the operating system of businesses today. With that in mind, when I received the results of the assessment, I'm glad to say that we're at stage 4. There are actually 5 stages based on their framework and maturity scape framework. There are 5 stages, and I'm happy to report that we are stage 4, which is an agile IT organization. So we are in the process of transforming into the future IT organization. I'm very happy for this because we are practicing what we preach to other small business owners and really implementing technology at the governance stage, at the leadership stage. As the CEO of the company, I need to be educated on certain principles, on certain compliance, on certain standards, and also communicate this to my clients when I'm creating strategies. We look at digital transformation at the security level, at the trust in the market level. We look at technology at the at the infrastructure level. They looked at the technology, how it's integrated into the products and services that we provide, and also they look at how we innovate and the technology tools that we use to not only equip the team but also equip our clients. So I'm very happy that that report came back well. There were some recommendations on how we can move to stage 5 and also how we measure against competitors in our industry. And I'm very happy for that. Now, coming out of that assessment, coming out of that exercise that took like a good hour, this was the one question that keep popping up in my mind. And I'm like, okay, how can I talk about this? Because from the title of the live, it's saying, are you learning and growing in the right direction? So this could be in different areas, but I really want to focus it in on digital transformation. One of the focuses for Innovategy Solutions this year is really educating small business owners and entrepreneurs on the importance of technology and bringing them to that place where they understand the era that we're in and how they can leverage technology for business growth, sustainability, and success. All right. Now, the first thing that really caught my attention during this assessment is leading your company into the digital age. That was the very first section I had to complete as a CEO. I had to answer key questions on, am I leading the company into the digital era? If it's through the products and services, is it through the customer's experience, through the team, how we do daily operations? Not only looking at it from an external perspective from customer experience, but also looking at it from the internal as to the daily operations and functions within the business. Okay? So, are you leading your company, sorry, I made this note, leading your company into the digital age? That's the first point I want to make. And the first question you should be asking yourself, are you leading your company or your business into the digital age? As a CEO, it is your responsibility to strategically plan and focus your company's long-term goals while driving improved customer experience. And all of this can be done through technology. I'm not talking about automation only. I am not talking about the actual tech solutions that you're using, like your email marketing or your CRM. But are you really taking time to lead your business into the digital age through digital transformation, through from governance right on to delivery of products and services to your customers? One of the questions I've asked this week, can your customers meet you at any point in the digital age? Some may say yes to an extent. Some may say no. Some may say, well, yes, I have a little this and a little that. But one of the things that you need to understand is that you need to implement technology at every functional level of your business. The next thing is strategic investments, and this was a big one, and this is again, these questions and these areas really stood out to me while I was going through the assessment. Is strategic investments. Are we strategically investing in technology? A lot of persons are afraid to invest in technology, and CEOs especially. So let me share a little about why they're afraid. So at one point, I was managing an IT department for a company. Every time or every year, you have to prepare, you have to assess the organization. What were the wins for that year in terms of what was budgeted or what was planned for the year before, what was implemented this year, and how successful that implementation was. So that was one aspect. The other aspect coming out of that report, now you budget for the new year. Now, as the head of IT, I have to be aware of what is trending, be aware of every technological advance, because one of the things you need to remember, technology advances every single day. It evolves every single day. So keeping that in mind, I always have to be on point with regards to technology and looking at technology from an infrastructure standpoint. If this goes down, do we have a backup plan? If the backup plan goes down, do we have another backup plan? So we're always mitigating for risk in the event of something happening. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this or giving you a backdrop is because, again, people who are in leadership, people who are in the CEO position, they think it hard to invest in technology or have strategic technology investments. The reason being because they always think that the IT people want to spend money, period. I know that investing in technology is expensive, but one of the things that we need to keep in mind is that this will solidify our position in the marketplace. It lets us remain competitive in the marketplace, because while you're dragging your foot or you don't want to invest in technology, your competition is leveraging technology at every turn. So we wait until something drastically happens to take action. As a CEO, you cannot wait until something drastically happens to take action. You need to be strategic. You need to plan strategically. You need to invest strategically. And this is why I'm saying it is good to have a strategic investment plan when it comes to technology. If you have an IT strategy that gives you a clear roadmap on how you're going to digitally transform your company, the inside of that roadmap outlines your technology investment. So that was one of the questions or one of the areas in terms of the assessment that they asked with regards to um, with regards to leadership and governance. Because as a leader, as a CEO, as the person who is managing the finance, you're doing it all together. Are you budgeting every year? I know a lot of us are creating goals for each quarter every year, but inside those goals, those quarterly goals or those yearly goals, have you allotted strategically, have you allotted technology investments? I'm not talking that you're going to upgrade your computer or your phone every year. I'm not talking about that only. Technology has a framework. There's a technology infrastructure that you need to have in your business. Whether you're small, mid, or a large corporation or enterprise, you need to have an IT infrastructure. So then now, under the leadership and governance, I'm like thinking, did I allocate technology investments for 2022? So I had to now go back into my plans and pull up the plans to see what it is I had in the budget for this year. The third thing that came out of that assessment, and it had me thinking, are you learning and growing in the right direction with your business? Implementing automation, and that was one of the recommendations that came out of the assessment. Everybody who knows me knows that I love automation. I love automation. If I can automate almost everything, I would, but I don't, because I still like that human or manual touch. But coming out of that assessment, they looked at measured my level of automation in the business through product services and also the infrastructure. And they did recommend that I need to do more in terms of automating core business processes. So that's something that we need to improve on this year. Now, implementing what came out of that report and what I have summarized is that implementing automation at all core business processes for productivity and innovation is essential. There's certain things that you cannot automate. You cannot automate interpersonal relationships between your team and your clients or your customer, depending on the type of business you have. But a lot of the core business processes that are conducted on a daily basis, you can automate that. You need to measure that automation. You need to be always optimizing and tweaking and monitoring those automations. Okay? So, am I implementing automation at all core of the business processes in my business? That leads to productivity, that leads to innovation. The fourth thing that actually came out of the report as well is strategic investment in digital skills. And this one is a big one. And again, this fell under all of the categories that we went through. More importantly, it was heavily focused under the innovation and intelligence section, because I'm speaking to those who have team, whether you have a single VA, whether you have maybe two persons working with you, whether they're contractors or you outsource services like graphics design, social media management, whatever it is, you still have a virtual team. Are you strategically investing in digital skills for your team? Is your team digitally skilled? Meaning you have already created a digital culture in your business. And because you've created a digital culture in your business, anybody that you hire into your business should be able to function inside of your business. Meaning that they're going through your processes, your automations, they are going through the policies and the standards that are set in place inside of your IT roadmap or your IT plan. The CEO, for all those who are entrepreneurs, small business owners, solopreneurs, are you investing in training yourself to be digitally transformed? Because one of the things that you need to understand is that your team is your biggest enabler of technology, especially now in the time that we're in, where everything is remote or virtual. Your team needs to be trained, and they're going to be enablers of your digital transformation. All right. So by you strategically investing in their skills and becoming digitally transformed inside of your business, you are creating enablers who can take your business to a place of productivity and adaptability in the marketplace. So as a CEO, I know a lot of people are afraid of technology, but once you've started a business, once you are running a successful business, once you are building a sustainable business, you need to have the necessary information. You need to train yourself in technology. You need to train yourself in digital transformation in order to make informed and strategic decisions. You're creating your budget with your accountant. Should be able to tell your accountant, okay, this is what I'm setting apart for technology investment for the next year or the next quarter. And then you guys iron out the details, because you already have that foundational knowledge inside of you to make those informed and strategic plans. So I was so happy this week when I went through that IT digital assessment or digital maturity assessment, and I was a bit afraid because I'm going up against other organizations from around the world. They're benchmarking based on other companies who've taken the assessment and who have done surveys and who they've studied, and they have created this framework, and they're always optimizing the framework based on the markets and the current conditions of the market. So my surprise when I saw the report coming in, I'm like, stage 4, I'm an agile IT or future IT, let me see, get the terminology correctly. My business is at stage 4, which is agile IT. I am transforming into a future IT organization. And that custom maturity score really put a lot of stuff into perspective. It also has me thinking, okay, I've done this assessment. I was open up to a lot of things as it relates to how technology is so integrated at every level, at every functional level of business, and how it has changed the business model. And it has me thinking, are small business owners actually thinking about this? And we're thinking about this for the long term. Are we thinking long term, or are we thinking for the now? As a business owner, are you learning and growing in the right direction? Are you learning and growing in the right direction? One of the things I take my when I am doing tech strategy sessions or IT strategy sessions with clients, I do an assessment with them. They have to go through an assessment. They have to answer questions around the same framework that was set up by this organization. They need to answer those questions. And once they answer those questions, then we come to the table and we start ironing out. We're looking at it from every vantage point, and we start ironing out or mapping out or mapping out a roadmap for implementation. We identify their goals, we identify their objectives, and now we're ready to create the roadmap. How are we going to align your business goals and objectives with your technology, your IT strategy, or your technology capabilities? We are now that roadmap. And that roadmap for implementation can be for the next 6 months, for the next year, for the next 5 years. Again, depending on the need. This is why I always say there is no one size fits all IT strategy. Every business is unique, every business is different. Every business is unique, every business is different. So, what may work, whatever technology capabilities may work for one company, it's not going to work for the other. It might be similar in terms of different processes and functions, but it's going to be a custom strategy. Okay? It's going to be a custom strategy. So just to recap what we covered today, we're asking the question, are you learning and growing in the right direction? And we're looking at it from a technology readiness standpoint. Is your business technological or digitally transformed to stay or remain competitive in the marketplace? Are you leading your company or are you leading your business into the digital age? It is your responsibility as the CEO to strategically plan and focus your company's long-term goals while you're driving improved customer experience. Strategic technology investments is the road, or it's the highway more or less for digital transformation. Implementing automation at all the core aspects of your business processes is going to help you to increase your productivity as well as innovation. Strategic investment in digital skills for yourself as the CEO to make informed decisions as well as your team. Creates enablers of technology so that you can become adaptable and successful in the marketplace. And just to finalize or to put everything into perspective, a resilient IT infrastructure can help businesses navigate the complexities of an uncertain future. I'll say that again. A resilient IT infrastructure can help businesses navigate the complexities of an uncertain future. A lot of companies 5 years ago, 10 years ago, who started to really take interest in investing in technology, investing in getting an IT strategy aligned with their business goals. When the uncertainty hit in 2020, they were able to be adaptable and they were able to be successful because they understood the importance and the era that they were in, and they started to leverage it. They may not have seen the return on the investment at the moment that they were implementing or the years they started to implement. But again, when the complexities of uncertainty hit the market, they were able to adapt. So today, I really wanted to share on my experience more or less as a CEO, as a technologist, as an IT strategist, with regards to going through that digital maturity assessment for my company. And these were some of the main points. There were a lot more, but these were some of the main points that I could relate to you with regards to asking myself as a CEO, am I learning and growing in the right direction? Yes, we have our money goals. Yes, we have our revenue goals, but it's our running a business like a business is much more than that. It's much more than that. It's much more than that. So, there are two things I would like you to do. If you've waited until the end you've listened to everything that I had to have to say with regards to the question and the assessment and so forth, If you're interested to work with me or work with Innovategy Solutions to craft an IT strategy for your business, there are two ways that you can go about doing this. You can visit www.innovategysolutions.com and you can book your session with us. Again, we take you through an assessment. We identify your business goals and objectives, maybe for the next 6 months, year, depending on how long you want to implement technology for, or your need for technology capabilities to accomplish your business goals. We map out those goals and objectives, and then we create a custom IT strategy aligned with your business goals so you can start implementing and becoming a digitally transformed business or organization in your marketplace. Now, if you're interested to work with us, again, you can visit www.innovategysolutions.com. You could go to our services menu and you would see the tech strategy as a service listed. And you can read up all the information as to what you need to know, how it will benefit your business once you implement an IT strategy and you book your session with us. If you're interested in our, we do have weekly lunch and learn webinars. Next Tuesday, I believe. Next Tuesday, we have a lunch and learn webinar. I have not publish it yet on social, but we do have a lunch and learn webinar coming up. If you are interested to know what the topic is, it's going to be a very interesting topic because this is a buzzword more or less that is around the social streets, around the internet streets, and a lot of persons are not really aware of what it means and how their business can benefit from it. So do follow my pages, whether you're on Instagram, whether you are on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. Do connect, follow, make sure you're following the page, you turn on your notifications. So when I announce that lunch and learn for next Tuesday, or it's next Wednesday, I'm not sure. But when I'll announce that, I will let you, so you're aware of, how you can actually go and register and all the necessary information that you need to register for that session. All right, so thank you so much for tuning into today's session. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys back in the next live stream. Bye bye.